welcome to an episode of Jacob's House of Rock. My name's Jacob, and today I've got another song reaction video for you guys. Today we're going to be reacting to a song called Sudden Death by a band called Mr. Bungle. You guys may or may not know Mr. Bungle. They are a 90s alternative, experimental, weird rock metal group. You may know the lead singer of them, Mike Patton from Faith No More fame. I'm a big fan of these guys, and I just found out they actually released an album this year. Like, it was released way earlier this year, but I only found out, like, today. So, interesting. I'm excited about this, because this has been, like, the first album by these guys in, I think, 20 years? The first full studio album. The last one was in 1999. I think it was called California or something like that. And yeah, that's a great album, great stuff on that thing, but 20 freaking years have passed. That's longer than people have been waiting for the next Tool album. So I'm really excited to see what this album is going to sound like. And the first song that came up from this album that I found like a video for, it's called Sudden Death. So let's take a listen to this, see how it stacks up to some of their other stuff, because they you know, this band's really freaking weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like if Frank Zappa was mixed with Faith No More kind of style music, and they just went into freaking chaos. It's epic, guys. Listen to some old school Mr. Bungle. It's not for everybody, but I'm into my weird prog stuff, so I love it. Anyway, let's check out this track. So, Sudden Death. Got the song loaded up and ready to go. It goes for 8 minutes, so it's a pretty long song. I guess, well, I listen to, again, a lot of prog, so 8 minutes is like nothing. But still, for your average kind of song, it's pretty long. Bear in mind, I will be pausing the video or the song throughout its duration to add commentary for two reasons. I explain this in like every video I do like this. One, that's like the point of doing these reaction videos, is to get the reaction. If you guys want to listen to the track in its entirety uninterrupted, it's in the video description. The link to this, you can listen to it in full without me talking, so that's why it's there. And two, it helps make sure that this video doesn't get blocked because of copyright stuff and because the whole track plays in one go. So if you pause it every now and again and talk in between, that kind of helps with that stuff. Anyway, let's get right into it. Let's see what this track is all about. Okay, got this sort of like cassette tape intro. Mr. Bungle! Copyright 1986. Okay. Something about like a nuclear strike. Really cool heavy riffage. Some really cool like old school heavy thrash kind of a guitar tone there. I'm liking that. Let's keep going. Oh, we got like a... Is that a dummy or like an actual lady? I'm getting like old school Megadeth vibes from this thing, or like, I guess, old school Faith No More vibes as well. So knowing Mr. Bungle, this could go absolutely anywhere. So far it seems to just be very thrashy, and it's got this sort of like nuclear apocalyptic tone to the videos. It is reminding me a lot of like some Megadeth videos where they talk a lot about this stuff, or just some old school thrash. Some growling from Mr. Mike Patton. Okay, that is a dummy. I like the way her hair is blowing in the wind. Okay, this is definitely playing off a lot of like Cold War propaganda and stuff like that, and like anti-nuclear like duck and cover kind of videos and stuff like that from the, you know, 60s, 70s, 50s, or whatnot. Mainly 50s. Good chugging in this groove. Oh, okay. Whoa. Okay, that just went like full Slayer just there. So far this isn't reminding me of Mr. Bungle at all. It's just like good old school 80s Thrash. But that was like full Slayer, like Raining Blood or something just there. I think there is some members of Slayer actually doing some session musician work for this album, so that might be why this is kind of that sound. But well, let's keep going. We'll see where it goes off to. We're only like a fraction of the song in, so it could do anything. Okay, creepy ass dummies. Okay, that just went into like full-on, like I said, Slayer just there with, like, that does sound like Mike Patton. I think he's like a chameleon. He can just adopt any sort of vocal style. He's a freaking genius when it comes to that stuff. The video's kind of weird. We got some ovaries and weird stuff going on in these like really sort of retro sciencey diagram kind of things going, and this dummy here is watching television with great enthusiasm, so I don't know, really bizarre, but let's keep going. Oh yeah, slower groove. That's a good groove. Have I got the wrong freaking music playing in this? This just sounds like Slayer. Like, I like Slayer, but like, I was expecting something completely different. Well, I am loving the groove of this thing. Like, jokes aside, like, I am pretty sure that is Mike Patton singing, so I don't know, I'm still expecting something to happen, but I'm loving the grooves in this thing. It keeps kind of like, the pace keeps upping and then slowing down. The thing about thrash metal is, like, it doesn't necessarily lose its energy when it slows down, it just gets heavier. But then it can also, like, speed up, so you kind of got the best of both worlds when it comes to thrash, because, like, no matter what pace of the music is, it just keeps getting more intense. It's a lovely mushroom cloud. Oh. I like those bass runs there. It's a good recording. I like the tone of everything. Like, you got some pretty dense guitars there, but you can still hear the bass under there doing its thing nice and clearly. Nice, you know, everything's this sort of traditional thrash sound, but produced very well. It doesn't seem overly compressed or anything like that. Mike's vocals are really freaking intense, as always. And this video is creepy as hell. I do love this sort of retro, sort of nuclear holocaust kind of a vibe. As a Godzilla fan, as you can see here, I'm very used to this sort of imagery and kind of the various media that talks about the horrors of nuclear fallout and stuff like that. If you're familiar with Godzilla, you know that's like his whole shtick. So this is kind of really cool to see. Oh, and we're not even halfway through the video, so let's keep going. Building to something. I like how there's just dummies in this music video. It's no people, but the dummies are doing all the acting with their facial expressions and just the editing. Nice galloping bass lines there. Bass. Okay, this is like a really creepy scene. Very noodly solo. It's pretty intense. I like the weird noodly solo. I'm less a fan of this, the drum pattern that's kind of going on here. I find it a bit too, like, I love thrash metal, don't get me wrong, but when the drums are just doing that boom cha boom cha boom cha boom cha kind of thing over and over again, I don't know, I love it when the drummers get creative in thrash metal and they do a lot of fills or something a bit more interesting. But, you know, this is a really good rendition still, regardless of, like, old school classic thrash. And by the looks of it, the whole song is probably just going to be like this, by the sounds of it, which is so weird, because if you've ever listened to any Mr. Bungle, this isn't how it sounds. It goes in all different directions. Again, it's like Frank Zappa's music, but on freaking steroids. Mike's vocals here, they remind me a lot of some of the really heavy tracks off of that Faith No More album. What is it called? It has like it's like red, this red lino print cover with like the dog on the cover. I think it's King for a Day or something like that. That is a fantastic album by Faith No More, and that's when Mike really got into like this sort of aggressive kind of singing. Definitely not on every track, but the thing about Faith No More is they could jump genres between tracks or mid-track, and he definitely did some vocal deliveries very similar to this, and he's just really good at it. You can see age has not changed that at all for this dude. That... Oh, lovely. Oh, then we got the list of band members right there. That was basically the ending I was expecting with that song. It just goes crazy, 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 and then just blah. Very interesting. It's just a full-on Thrash song from them. I wonder if the rest of the album is like this. Because if you've heard of any other Mr. Bungle songs, they're also a mindfuck, also completely intense and crazy, but they can just go into like jazz and just like weird dissonant stuff and just all sorts of crazy stuff, like just completely mismatched sounding things. And this, on the other hand, just sounds like good old-fashioned thrash metal. In fact, if you played me this and said, "Oh, here's the new Slayer album," I'd be like, "Oh, cool, bro." And I wouldn't think twice to think that it was Mr. Bungle or anything like that. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this track. I'm definitely going to have to check out the rest of this album. I wonder if there are some surprise songs or if it's all like this. This is the last track on the album, by the way, so maybe they just wanted to cap it off with something like this, and the rest might have some variation in it. Who knows? Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought of the track. What do you think of Mr. Bungle? And if you got any other songs you'd like to recommend for me to give a listen, because I would definitely love to make this a regular thing on the channel, to do some song reactions and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, keep on rocking. Peace out. Bye.